Our final speaker has been an English and journalism teacher at TAM for 15 years. He brings tremendous care and spirit to everything he does. He has been selected to speak by the class because he makes everyone at TAM a better, more informed, critical speaker. Please welcome Jonah Steinhart.
Greetings, Principal Farr, faculty, administration, board members, grandparents, parents, siblings, dogs, dog walkers, dog groomers, dog orthopedists, dog psychologists, dog open space lobbyists, and dog CrossFit instructors, and of course, graduates. It's an honor to be here today. I thought a lot about what to share with you and decided on a true 21st century American success story. Listen carefully, as you may soon find yourselves on the path to greatness. That greatness was inside of a boy who sat like you at his high school graduation down in Palo Alto a few decades back. This boy had pulled himself up by his bootstraps and gained admission to Stanford University. He had done it through his own grit and determination, and multiple edits from his professional writer father on his application essay and 2 prior generations of Stanford grads and donors in his legacy. But mostly, it was the grit. And then, after 4 years he barely remembered, this young man graduated and took the capital markets by storm. With nothing more than 6 months of fully paid living expenses from his parents, he started an internet company. Well, he didn't start it. A computer science major from his freshman dorm started it and was like, hey, you want to help me with this? But the young man had the brilliance, the foresight to say, yes, I will start that company with you because I am not doing anything else right now. And so the two pulled themselves up by their bootstraps and started that company. They did it their way, on their own, through grit. Sure, there was the free office space and computers from an older buddy from Stanford who backdoored them into US Web as a subsidiary from day one. And sure, there was that internet bubble thing. But within 2 years, that boy had become a man, a co-founder of an internet company with 100 employees, a man with $50 million of illiquid, doomed internet stock. He was 25 years old. He got his picture in the Wall Street Journal. And do you know who that young man was? This guy, yeah. And I gotta tell you, I was a major schmuck. I partied too much, so did my so-called friends. I'd get super angry when people suggested my success was due it all to luck. I made my own luck, or so I thought. I was entitled, I was arrogant, I had no clue who I was, and deep down, I was pretty terrified that I was a fraud. In short, I was unhappy. There were 3 events that saved me from schmuckdom. The first event was I got a job here at TAM. I showed up the first day, ready to bestow my charisma and talent upon the school, and I commanded tremendous respect from the students the first time I took over a class. Tremendous. That respect lasted at least 15 minutes. Then the students literally locked me out of the room. True story, long story. I'll just say those kids had mad skills. Things did not immediately get better. High school kids can smell the fake on you. And the worst teachers, as I'm sure you guys will agree, are those that pretend to be somebody that they're not. I apologize to this day to any student I taught before about 2007. Nell Mitchell, great speech. Is Nell Mitchell's family here? Can you raise your hands? There you are. Is Nell's older sister Alex here? No, can you get out your iPhone? Let's capture this. Get it out. Alex, sorry, my bad. Anybody else? Sorry, I'm sorry. Okay. The second event that saved me was I married a wonderful woman who called me out on my crap. She pointed out my elitist impulses. She threatened to leave me if I didn't get sober. It was very hard, but I did indeed get sober, and I left behind a lot of hubris and a lot of friends in the process. The third event, and the most important event, was my daughter Annika was born with Prader-Willi syndrome, a bizarre and absolutely ruthless genetic syndrome. Imagine how hungry you are right now, waiting for me to finish this hella long speech that seems to be all about me. Or imagine how hungry you were last night, right before dinner, or how hungry you may be later tonight. That is what my daughter Annika feels every second of the day, even after her last bite of dinner. Annika literally will eat herself to death if left alone with food. Like all sufferers of PWS, she also endures various other cognitive, emotional, and physical challenges. A couple years ago, she started attacking her younger siblings and running away from home. I've never felt more devastated and helpless. In December, having fought insurance companies, our district, and having exhausted all other options, we enrolled Annika in an amazing residential school for PWS students in Brewster, Massachusetts. Now she is safe and thriving, as are her siblings. But here's the thing about Annika. She's only 10 years old. I miss her so much, it hurts a lot. I get to go see her next week for the first time since April. Coming out of these three events, I've learned just how much our lives are influenced by luck. I've learned that we are all capable of enduring immense pain and suffering. I've learned that even in our darkest moments, we can still find ample time to laugh and love and grow. And I've learned that privilege is not just something I lucked into at the expense of those less fortunate. Privilege also is an insidious force that drove me along a path of least resistance to a place of spiritual and intellectual bankruptcy. To those of you who do not come from privilege, I'm not going to stand up here and patronize you about how lucky you are to have the chance to truly succeed on your own. Poverty sucks, and it is imposed upon our children with greater ferocity every day, and we all need to fight with great urgency against that trend. To those of you who share my privilege, I encourage you to be vigilant. It's hard to know how lucky we are sometimes, but there are ample opportunities to sit still and listen carefully to people from other circumstances. These people know things that you don't. And there may be moments when you have that tingling sensation that you're about to take that privileged path of least resistance just because it's there. Instead of taking that path, and this is the part of the speech where parents, you cover your ears, earmuffs. You guys haven't seen Old School? Earmuffs, you know, all right. Don't major in what they want you to major in. Major in what you want to major in. Don't go to the college or take the job that will look cool on social media. Transfer, quit. Take the job that's harder and pays less but actually makes people's lives better. Live life on the edge. Volunteer. Become a journalist. Work with kids. Drive a used car with no extended warranty. You know, crazy stuff. It's important that you not take the privileged path of least resistance. Otherwise, you may find one day that you have lucked into a shiny, prestigious life that you thought would make you happy, but that in fact makes you absolutely miserable. This can happen to anyone, even the President of the United States. The last year has been the most difficult of my life. I have days when I cry thinking about Annika, but my love for my wife and children has never been stronger, and I've never felt more fulfilled in my professional life. It sounds crazy, but I'm happier standing in front of you right now than I have ever been. I leave you with a quote from Lama Zopa Rinpoche from his book, Transforming Problems into Happiness. He writes, "Instead of seeing all the problems you experience, whether caused by living beings or by situations and circumstances, as problems, you need to develop the habit of recognizing them as all beneficial conditions supporting happiness, and in fact being causes for happiness. You have to train your mind in two ways. First, you stop the thought of complete aversion to suffering. And second, you generate the thought of welcoming problems. When you have accomplished this and actually feel happy rather than unhappy to have problems, problems no longer become obstacles to generating the path to enlightenment and happiness." That quote rings very true for me. So yes, if you pick up a real newspaper with real facts written by real journalists, you will see that your generation faces massive challenges from the personal to the global. But I'm here to testify that you can not only conquer these challenges, but be happy in the midst of the greatest struggles you have ever known. That is what a true success story looks like in the 21st century. May you have ample problems and the true grit to push through them. Tam News for Life, go Dubs. Much love to all of you. I'm going to miss you. Congratulations, class of 2017.